If I want to rank plumber in Dallas keyword, how do you think using the keyword multiple times would help? Like how to choose the right plumber in Dallas, benefits of hiring qualified plumber in Dallas. Um, so it sounds to me like you need to, well, I guess there's kind of two parts to this. First, you need to do your keyword research and find out basically what keywords Google is allowing pages that are ranking #1 for plumber in Dallas. So plumber in Dallas is basically like the main keyword, right? Or let's say it's the main keyword. So plumber in Dallas is your main keyword. You need to go look at those sites and you pull them up in a tool like Ahrefs or whatever and look at the other keywords that Google is allowing that page to rank for. And that will let you know these are the ones I should try to rank on that page. You don't have to like guess or anything. There's no kind of like science to it. You literally just go look in a tool at what Google is allowing the pages to rank for, and you're going to try to rank for all of those. And the way you rank for them is by including them in your content somehow. And for the second part of your question, you said, do you think using the keyword multiple times would help? Using the keyword multiple times can help, but you need to be careful here. You don't want to get into what we call keyword stuffing, which is where you put the keyword, just a crazy amount of times in the content. It's kind of a very old SEO practice. And if you do that now, Google sees it as real like spammy and natural, and they don't like it at all, and they, won't reward you for it. So, when we're doing content, we like to use a tool like Surfer SEO. Surfer, it's a paid tool. We're not affiliated with anyway. It's just a real popular tool that pretty much everyone uses these days. And it'll tell you basically how many times it'll take like the top like 5 sites or whatever, and it'll do like an average of how many times, how long their content is, and based on how long the content is, how many times they've used that keyword, and it should tell you how many times you should have it in your content at whatever length you're writing. So Surfer is a good way to do that. If you're not using Surfer, you could also just go look at the content on the top 5 pages, and you could literally just search for and see how many times they included the keyword in there, and then see what their content length is, and then have a similar ratio in yours. But yeah, Surfer just makes it so much easier. It would just take so much more time without a tool like Surfer, right? But yeah, so yeah, you're including your important keywords in your content. You're also putting them in important places like your inner page URL, or the title tag, or your meta description, or your H1s, your H2 tags, your H3s, whatever. Basically just kind of working it in naturally without seeming too spammy in all of these places, right? But yeah, I really couldn't recommend using a tool like Surfer enough, especially if you're kind of newer. And if your site doesn't have any traffic yet, if it's not getting many impressions, Surfer actually has a free tier, but your site has to like really be getting like no traffic. But if that's you, you can go use Surfer for free actually until it starts getting a certain amount of impressions on Google. You got anything to add on that one, Nick?
Yeah, so something else to be careful for, which I think maybe dived into a little bit, but just to stress it, is keyword cannibalization, which Surfer can also help with if you're doing keyword research. It'll tell you where there's overlap between these certain questions that you're asking, and whether there's specific money sites ranking for both of these questions, which would mean you need one article to target both of these questions versus if you're just conceptualizing an idea of what questions Google might want to ask, you're risking maybe creating articles that have too much overlap, and then you're confusing Google in what it wants to see for any particular SERP, if that makes sense. But Surfer is definitely a great tool to do that, because they show the amount of percentage of overlap within certain SERPs, in the sense of what money site or what money article is ranking within both of those or multiple of those SERPs. Something else I think that's worth talking about here is then how do you use that specifically? Like Chris said, you don't want to overdo how much you use a specific keyword phrase, etc. But what you need to understand is that the primary thing that Google's looking at as far as what you can manipulate to tell Google what your site is about is your URL, right? So quite honestly, I love exact or partial match domains specifically to go after, especially like local targets. You can do Plumber Dallas, John's Plumbing Dallas, any number of things, .com, .net, whatever, which, specifically tells Google this is what this is about. And then within there, right after that, you've got your H1, so your title tag, which you'd want to use synonyms or variations of what you're trying to go after. So let's say I'm John's Plumbing, Texas, or Dallas.com. Then my H1 tag might be the best plumbers in Dallas, right? So a variation of the exact same thing. And you can do that more so than just keep repeating the same keyword, expecting, Google's very intuitive. It understands that there's an umbrella of these keywords that kind of go together. And you can use that to your advantage as well. So, you want to think about that as well, because like Chris said, using the same keyword within the URL, within the H1 tag, within H2 tags, etc., is going to just come off as spammy, and it's not going to, end up as good for you typically.
But you're very small on the screen.
I'm tiny.
Yeah,
huh?
I don't know what's
I
going on.
wonder if that's my internet or yours.
It's probably mine.
Hello.
Hopefully it'll just fix itself. But yeah, sorry, the stream's a little low quality. My color is messed up, and Nick is tiny now. Hopefully next week it'll be better, but we're just gonna have to deal with it for right now. But yeah, like Nick was saying, important, watch out for keyword cannibalization. Make sure that the keywords that you're trying to rank a page for, make sure there's other pages that are ranking high for both of them. If they're ranking for like number 1 for one of the keywords and they're on like page like 4 for the other one, you might not want to try to rank for that keyword unless you can find another site that's ranking well for both of them, right? But yeah, anything else to add on that, Nick?
No, I think that's about it.
Cool. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the links below for more info on this topic, as well as other cool stuff like SEO case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks, and happy ranking.